妈妈呢？咪咪，咪咪，咪咪，咪咪！哎呦我天哪，在这儿呢，是只小猫，你是咋进去的呀？啊，你妈妈呢？过，咪咪，过来！哎呦我天哪！哎呀，你妈妈呢？哎呦呦呦天哪！来，先出来，先出来。咪咪，喵，喵，这没看到他妈呀。先到这儿，我先把你弄上车上去。给你擦干一点，是不是冻死你了啊？今天这么热，我知道你饿了，先擦干来，待会儿给你整点吃的啊。镇上看看能不能买得到这种猫粮啊，不知道这边有没有。过来，咪，过来，哎呦，你还会过来啊？哎呀。好了，你在这里等会儿哈。咪咪，哎呀呀，等会儿，先别下去，我买这个鸡腿给你了，猫粮没买上，好不好？嗯，好，哎呦。哎呀，你的爪子，哎呀，我知道你饿了，别乱跑，我知道你饿了，这没买上猫粮，我只能先把这个鸡腿给它煮上，待会儿就可以吃了哈，好不好？你还挺漂亮的哈，有点像那个狸花猫。等会儿，马上好了。好了，估计是饿极了。等会儿，哎，别烫到你了。可以的。哎呀，好吧，我知道你饿了。哎，别烫到你了。那小家伙，等会儿。哎呀，太烫了，再放凉了啊。好了，凉的差不多了。来，这里。哎呀，别看着我，看这，爪子别弄进去。天哪，这饿成啥样了？这会不会给多了呀？饺子别伸进去！我天哪，这估计是饿疯了。哎，算了，不管它了，让它吃吧。估计这一根也够了，不敢给它吃太多，怕给它吃撑了。没了，不能再吃了，你看这一盆都被它干完了，再吃你就撑着了啊！行不行？不能再吃了啊！这回吃饱了吧，里面这是舔爪子呢。 家伙，哎呀，饿了是吧？吃吧，昨天吃那么多，今天给你少一点啊。喝点水啊，来。小家伙，别睡了，起床了，我们到公园了。走，带你检查去。你好，有人吗？这里可以给他做体检吗？
做体检？
啊，我捡到的。
捡到了，你先稍微坐那等一会儿啊。
你给他检查一下。
Shivering in half light, can't quite find your face. Soft breath, endless space, your name just out of reach. Something in the silence, hands brushing away, falling. Echoes hold the night, almost say what I mean. Hold you when I can't speak, trace hope on your skin. You feel close in the quiet. Everything's kind calm and dangerous. In my dreams I'm still brave enough to love you. All the words I lost feel warm and true. Fear never finds me, only you. You say my name when oh goodbye, in that world we never lie. edges around you. Light and I watch you fade. Day pulls you away too soon. Wait for me tonight. Just this hush remains. Eyes closed, you breathe me. Almost honest, always almost. In my dreams, I'm still brave enough to. Mud streak fur against cold stone. Eyes like embers barely shone. You didn't flinch when I drew near, just held your breath and disappeared. I wrapped you soft in borrowed thread. Your heartbeat whispered, don't let go. Now you run where the wind blows free. No more chains, no empty cage, just sky and me. Every scar you carry sings of how the lost can learn to breathe again. Weeks of quiet, slow repair. Stitches fading, trust laid bare. You'd watch my hands with wary grace, then nudge my palm, a timid trace. One dawn you stood without a sound and turned your face towards solid ground. Now you run where the wind blows free. No more chains, no antique cage, just sky and me. Every scar you carry sings of how the lost can learn to breathe again. You taught me courage wears no name, just steady steps through fear and flame. Now you run where the wind blows free. No more chains, no empty cage, just sky and me. Every scar you carry sings of how the lost can learn to breathe again. Knees sink in the mud tonight, fur soak through a street light. One whimper cuts the pouring air, two eyes wide with silent prayer. 3 blocks walked with shaking hands, 4 walls rise where kindness stands. The storm outside begins to bend. Now your breath matches mine, every shiver turns to light. No more hiding in the cold, you are safe here with more than gold. 5 bandages, 6 soft words, 7 hours till morning stirred, 8 breaths steady on the floor, 9 dreams knocking at the door, 10 heartbeats sink without a sound, 11 scars start healing down the dark retreats from window glass. Now your breath matches mine, every shiver turns to light. No more trembling in the rain, you're the hope I lost and found again. 12 steps taken on your own, 13 seeds and throwing stone, 14 dawns and you look back, 15 reasons not to Now your breath matches mine, every shiver turns to light. No more counting broken days, you are home in